Joshua asks a question. In the early 90s to mid 2000s, there was a Russo-Australian boxer named Kostya Zua, ferocious in the ring. He credits much of his power and stamina to carrying a 16K kettlebell and sometimes 24K for an entire hour. He would change hands or positions as much as liked. Whilst he walked, he just would not set it down. Made me think of you right away. Yeah, anytime someone reads something that's crazy or lunatic, they think of me. That's quite an honor. I recently did this with 16K for 43 minutes. I was extremely surprised by some of the muscles that hurt. I never felt them before during an exercise. I transitioned from farmers to overhead to racked, and at one point held the bell like a baby in one hand. Oh, that's not a bad idea. That'd be an isometric curl. That'd be interesting. What is your opinion on this type of training? Well, I've never gone for an hour. I have done this exercise where you go suitcase carry, rack, waiter, or the opposite, waiter to rack to suitcase, and then switch hands, waiter to rack to suitcase, and you try to organize it up a bit. I know I've done it for 15 minutes because that's what Gray Cook said to do, and that's why we call it the Cook drill. I mean, it's the kind of thing you could do for 10 years, 5 days a week. By God, do it. It's like that one guy he has those extremely light weights, and he just does clean and press left, clean and press right with a light dumbbell. Well, light to me. And he just does that like 1,000 times. I mean, good for you. If that's, if you can do that workout, well, you're wired different than I am. You'd be an interesting person to go across, a continent with, because you would have the focus to stay on target, where a guy like me would want to go see the world's largest ball of twine or something. I think there's value to it. I do. Anytime you can teach yourself while doing loaded carries that the spine is that there's this wonderful, is it twisting movement? As my legs come forward, my whole body does that amazing spinal movement. It's like throwing in a way. That's what makes us humans walk. And of course, it's a very complicated thing. It's extremely complicated how humans walk. Extremely. We've had for 100 years devices that can replicate hearing, speech, all kinds of vision things, including even better vision than we have, X-ray and night vision and video recorders and all that. But whenever you watch a robot walk, it always looks wrong. We still haven't been able to replicate for robots how to walk. And I'm convinced, and this is just my little theory, that they don't have that. They're trying to make them walk, kind of like burp, 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 versus, the way humans walk. So anytime you do loaded carries, I think it's great for your spine, for your spinal health a lot. I think it's great for whatever you want to call the area between your neck and your knees. Sometimes it's called the core or the column. And obviously, too, I mean, it's a good way to train the whole body and remind your body about, the gaps. So, yeah, I like it. An hour, I don't know about that, but I like the idea. So, enough. And as all questions segue into, could this be a soul exercise for life? Yeah, absolutely it could. Sure. That and clean and press, that and squat snatch, power clean and press. There's a bucket of exercises you could do. The problem is, why would you do it? Why would you even think about it? I ask that question all the time. Unless you're in some kind of like a gun pointed to your head, you get perfect freedom to do. Most people have perfect freedom to do whatever they want. So, but it's a good question, and I appreciate it, and enjoy the drill. Try it for like 15 minutes, 3 days a week for a while. And if it's something you like to do, hell, knock it up to that hour, okay? And you might be smarter than me by the end of this.